Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We have a quiz tomorrow. Today is Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. We got a quiz. It's on domain and range, and it's also on transformations. So let's quickly review. First of all, you should definitely look at your homework, redo as many homework assignments as you can. That's very important before a test, and you'll get a test review before tests. That's scripture. You need to really respect that test review. Please do it sincerely, and you will be prepared for the test. But we have a quiz tomorrow. We need to see how things are going, and it's no calculator. First, finding domain and range. So we have, you can do it graphically and algebraically. Looking at the graph here, I want you to pause the video and find the domain and the range on your own first. I hope you paused and are participating. The domain here, well, it's going, always begin with the smallest number. Whenever you write an interval, always begin with the smallest number, please. Don't say it's from 7 to 5, because we all know 5 is less than 7. Start with the smallest number always. So domain is x, and I'm looking to the left. It goes to the left for infinity. So the very first thing in my answer is negative infinity. But it's going to the right all the way to -5. There's a hole there, but -5 picks up again here, continues to -1. There's a hole, but it picks up. -1 picks up right here. Continues on to when x is 3. There's a hole, but x equals 3 gets picked up here. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it goes on forever. So the domain is all real numbers. If you got that, fantastic. What about the range? Well, you always start with the smallest number, which is going down. It looks like -3 might be smallest, but this arrow indicates it's going down forever. So this whole function goes down to -infinity. How high up does it go? You may think it goes up to +6, but this arrow up over here indicates that it's going up forever. So literally every y value in the whole real number system is accounted for here. It goes down forever, it goes up forever. Some y values are repeated, like +1 is repeated once here, once over here, and once over here. That's fine. But every y value in the real number system is included. All right, moving on. Another graph, domain and range visibly, graphically. So pause the video, get an answer down. Even if it's wrong, just participating that much will make you learn faster. Commit to an answer for the domain and the range. Hopefully you paused. Well, domain, starting to the left, it goes all the way to the left to -infinity. And it doesn't look like it's including x equals -2. I don't see anywhere else where it picks up. So -2 is not in the domain. It continues on to +1, and then it picks up just after 1 all the way to the right. So it's all real numbers except for -2. So that's how you would express it, from -infinity to infinity, but you're hopping over -2. What about the range? Well, starting down, it goes down to -infinity. It goes up, it looks like it's skipping the range value of 1 here, because there's a hole, but have no fear. There's a 1 over here. I'm sorry, -1. There's a -1 right here. And there's a constant interval right here. So -1 is definitely accounted for. Are there y values between 1 and 2? Yes, not here, but over here there are. In fact, all the y values are included from -infinity all the way up to +3. +3 is included, so we use a bracket, don't forget. Please don't be the person that writes down 3 comma -infinity. -infinity is the smallest. It will always come first if it's part of your answer. What about algebraically? Pause the video and see if you can find the domain of both of these algebraically, without technology, without looking at the graph. How do we do this? Well, there are guidelines. You're dividing by variables, and you can never divide by 0. So we have to make sure x squared minus 2x minus 3 does not equal 0. And so I need to figure out, well, what are the x values that would make this equal 0? And then I need to exclude them. Luckily, it's factorable. It factors into x minus 3 times x plus 1. So we set each factor to 0. X plus 1 can't equal 0, which means x can't be -1. And then x minus 3 can't equal 0, which means x can't equal 3. So the domain is all real numbers except for -1 and 3. It splits up the real number line into 3 intervals: everything less than -1, everything between -1 and 3, and then everything bigger than 3. This one, you're dividing again. So radical 2x minus 4 cannot equal 0 because you can't divide by 0. But it's also a radical. So that brings up the second rule. 2x minus 4 can't be negative. So both of these things have to be true. Well, if they're both true, then this is the consequence. 2x minus 4 is just greater than 0. Notice it's just like this, except it got rid of the or equal to, because 2x minus 4 can't be 0, because then I would be divided by 0. So it just is greater than 0, which means x is greater than 2, which means this is my interval. Not including 2, just greater than 2. What is the range of this? Pause the video. Hopefully you found it on your own without using a technology or whatever. So the range, these are the y values. Well, now that you know, I have a better idea of how transformations work. This is an absolute value function. And there were 4 transformations. You went to the left. First of all, get a basic idea of what it looks like. Since it's an absolute value function, it's the V shape. So you went to the left 88. All the y values got flipped upside down because there's a negative. All the y values got multiplied by 2.77. And then all the y values added 106. Wow, so that's a lot. But we don't really need, we really need a specific type of information here. I want to find all the y values. I know the basic idea, it looks like this V, but it went to the left 88 and it went up 106. So that vertex is 88 to the left and 106 up. It's way up here somewhere. It's upside down because of the negative sign, and it's skinnier than normal because all the y values got multiplied by 2.77. So just in my mind, I could kind of picture something like this. Upside down, skinnier than normal, and this vertex right here is 88 to the left and 106 up. And if you could sketch a graph, this is totally legal to sketch something to help you, then you should be home free. What's the range of this function? Clearly, everything less than or equal to 106. So from negative infinity to 106, including 106. Last slide, transformations. Here is a function. It's a piecewise. You see it's part of a parabola. It's also part of an absolute value. Now, 1, -4 is an ordered pair on this function. It's right there, 1, -4. What will 1, -4 get mapped to? In other words, what transformations will that one ordered pair undergo with these 3 different functions? So pause the video and tell me, where does 1, -4 end up after this, and then after this, and then after this? Hopefully you paused it and participated. Let's take a look at this first one. First thing is x plus 9 is inside the grouping symbol, so it's moving to the left 9. So 1, -4, this ordered pair is going to go to the left 9. So it's going to become -8, -4. And then 3 times f of x, so that's 3 times y. So the y value is going to be tripled. So it's going to be -8, -12. If you got that, fantastic. The next one, starting with 1, -4, it goes through here. Well, nothing happens to the x. It's just f of x. So the 1 is going to be part of your answer. Things are happening to the y values, though. First, you have to multiply by -4 because that's closest to the x. You're kind of following order of operations. So all the y values get multiplied by -4. They get flipped upside down and they get stretched. So this y value, -4, would become positive 16. And then after you do that, you add 11 to those y values. So 16 plus 11 is 27. So 127 is our ordered pair. And then lastly, what does this? There are 3 transformations here. What happens to 1, -4 with these? Well, you've got a horizontal shrink going on here. This 3 doesn't make it. It's the reciprocal relationship here. So every x value gets divided by 3. So 1 would normally produce -4. Now a third will produce that. You have to divide every x value by 3. But the y values get changed too. You have a negative in front of this y value. So all the y values get multiplied by -1. So -4 times this -1 will become +4. And then lastly, always last, is the vertical shifts up or down. And you went up 2. So +4 plus 2 is 6. So 1/3, 6 is where it went. You should redo as much homework as you can, study the notes, and then you will be ready for tomorrow. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you then.